Good morning, Northwest time is 6:52. It's time for your morning sprint.
And Caroline Flynn is live with tips on how to avoid a moving nightmare.
And Mark Peterson has a little bit of a cool down in today's forecast.
But first, Spokane police have arrested a 23-year-old woman suspected of stabbing another woman in downtown Spokane around 2:45 yesterday afternoon. Police say two groups of people were arguing when 23-year-old Nikita McDowell pulled out a knife and stabbed the woman in the neck. The victim was taken to the hospital, but was released later in the day. McDowell was arrested at the SCA Plaza when security officers matched her with a description given by Spokane police. She's now charged with second-degree assault.
Breaking news out of Belgium this morning. Two police officers were among three people killed in what police have deemed a terror attack in the city of Liège, about 60 miles east of Brussels. A man approached the officers from behind, stabbed them multiple times, then took their guns and shot and killed them. Police later shot and killed the gunman. The third victim was a 22-year-old passenger in a car that the suspect shot at. Sources say the suspect is a Belgian national who was known to police.
Two people had to be rescued from the Spokane River by Spokane Valley fire crews yesterday. They were tubing without life jackets when crews found them struggling in the water. They weren't hurt, but the incident will cost them each a $76 fine. The fire department wants to remind you the river is moving fast and that water is still very cold.
Looking ahead today, you'll have to get your afternoon cup of coffee somewhere other than Starbucks. 8,000 locations will close their doors after lunch today for racial sensitivity training. It's all in response to public outrage over two black men being arrested in a Philadelphia Starbucks last month. The company says the training was partially crafted by the NAACP and will focus on understanding prejudice. The stores are closing between 1 and 3 local time. Starbucks says it'll take about 3 hours, but some locations won't open back up.
All right, high pressure is going to dominate, although a weak ridge. We're surrounded with low pressure systems all the way around, but it's sunny. But this cloud cover is going to come across later on today, and that's going to be the sun and clouds, cloudy overnight, and then clearing in the early morning hours. Things are actually looking really good. We're going to continue to have, again, very mild starts to the day. 52 at Moses Lake, 49 Spokane, Deer Park at 50, even Pullman at 51 degrees. Your 7-day coming up.
Well, the Coast Guard has suspended the search for a man missing in a plane crash off of Bainbridge Island this weekend. He and his wife were both in a small plane when it went down. Joan Burns was rescued by Good Samaritans and taken to Harborview Medical Center where she's in critical condition. Her husband, 70-year-old Lee Elliott, still has not been found and is now presumed dead.
Scientists are warning that Lyme disease is on the rise. The CDC says more than 30,000 cases are reported every year. The Inland Northwest is an area in which ticks are active. Check out our Facebook page for a link to find out how to properly remove a tick.
Authorities in Ephrata are investigating a flag burning that became a 5-acre wildfire on Sunday. That fire started when a man set fire to an American flag blanket. No injuries were reported and no structures were damaged, but the firefighters say regardless of political views, starting a wildfire is a problem for everyone.
Tropical storm Alberto has now been downgraded to a tropical depression, but it could still cause flooding in the southeast today. Storm watches and warnings are still in effect for inland areas. The storm led to the deaths of 2 people in North Carolina. News anchor Mike McCormick and photojournalist Aaron Smelter were killed when a tree fell on their SUV. They were covering the storm when they died.
All right, take it from me, someone who just made a big move and saw firsthand the things that can go wrong. You're going to want to listen to these Better Business Bureau tips before you plan it. Do your research and check for customer complaints and get everything in writing. That includes an itemized list of all your belongings that are heading on the truck. Be sure to insure your items and get an in-person estimate.
Coming up next on Good Morning America, the heroic teacher who took 3 bullets to save his 7th grade students last week is out of the hospital and telling his story.
The creators of Sesame Street are suing the makers of a raunchy new comedy starring Melissa McCarthy and puppets.
We look over downtown Spokane, and again, beautiful start to the day. We're going to have some high, thin clouds increasing in intensity this afternoon, and it's going to be pretty pleasant. 70, 68 tomorrow, 68 again on Thursday with cloud cover, 20% chance of showers. Friday, 68, but look at the weekend. I know we just came off a 3-day weekend. Yeah, it's not escape me.
Already looking forward.
We've got to talk about the weekend.
But still looking pretty good with low 70s expected, and it should be, partly cloudy. I mean, looking ahead.
Yeah. We dig it, for sure. Mark, thank you.
And thanks for tuning in. Good Morning America starts right now. We'll see you throughout the morning.
Take care.